Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. So, a lot of you guys saw my previous video where I did your Season 3 suggestion, and for some reason, that video got over 50,000 views. So, thanks for that. After I posted that, a lot of you wanted to see my suggestions for Season 3 for some reason. So here are some wishes I have for Season 3 of the Total Drama Reboot, if it ever gets greenlighted, which it probably will, unless you all don't watch the aired version. So go, support the channels when it comes on, or if it ever will, Cuff Cuff United States. So before I start this video, I'm gonna hand out 3 icons. You can use these icons as your profile picture, or whatever you want. If you remember last time, I mentioned that there was gonna be a squirrel theme. So here are both Squirrel Suit Raj and Squirrel Suit Millie. And for the 3rd icon, I will hand out the elegant and most beautiful Queen of Hearts Ripper. Since this week was a Wonderland theme, yes, it's ugly, that's the point. If you want to see more of these icons, you can find them on my TikTok since they are more frequently posted there. Or you can check out my new Redbubble shop where I sell some of them as stickers, pins, magnets, phone cases, or other things. Hashtag self-promo. There are regular ones, some themed ones, some limited ones, and also some fan art in there. With all the chatter, I can finally shut up about my self-promotion and start with the video. So first of all, if Fresh TV orders 26 more episodes, I would rather have one 26-episode season instead of 2 13-episode seasons. I want a World Tour themed season, so that is what I'm gonna base everything on. I saw a lot of you had concerns about a World Tour because there are some countries that unfortunately don't accept the LGBTQ+ community and said that Raj and Bowie would get arrested if they went there. But I have a quick solution to those concerns. Let's just not go to those locations at all. For the cast, I kinda do want to keep the reboot cast because I can't think of a new cast by myself, and I like the reboot cast because they are silly. And it might also be some recency bias, so I'm not ready to give up on them yet. Also, I haven't really watched the old seasons in a long time and kinda forgot about them. I'm too lazy to rewatch, so I don't want to really bother with them here. I'm a reality TV fan, so my biggest #1 wish is that this season is a little bit more strategic and dramatic. I know a lot of you guys want Julia, Pria, Bowie, and maybe Millie out pretty early, but if you look at the rest of the cast, I would probably say they are the most strategic when it comes to the game. Without them, we would probably have Total Drama Goof Show. I know this is a controversial opinion, but we need some of them in there a little bit longer than we would like to for the purpose of the game. Otherwise, it will turn into a comedy show, which is fun and entertaining, but then we might as well make a Dramarama 2.0. Other than the mentioned before, none of the other contestants have shown to be that strategic except maybe Emma, Caleb, and maybe Ripper as well. Yes, Ripper was kind of smart and strategic before he crushed on Axel. So to make it a little bit more strategic and dramatic, I want to add 2 contestants to the season, mostly to make the teams equal since there are going to be 3 of them. So first up, we have a guy, I guess. Let's just call him Bob. I want Bob to kind of be like Pria when it comes to total drama knowledge, but he isn't going to be as strong as her. Instead, he is like going to be the mental counterpart to Pria. Like he knows how to strategize and make alliances similar to Bowie in Season 1. I think this would be a good addition since Bowie has kind of gone soft, so we are missing that mastermind. Next, we have a fan favorite in the fandom. You might have seen her before, and kudos to the person who created her, but the next edition will be the famous Ciara, or whatever her name is, or someone similar. I don't even have an idea on how it's pronounced. Like, is it like an S like Sierra, or with a K like Kiara? But anyway, she is gonna be spoiled and unintentionally mean, like just selfish. She isn't on a Julia level since she isn't that smart, maybe more like an Anne Maria / Dakota type of character. I think she will be a good addition since she will kind of replace the role Julia had because, spoiler alert, Julia is an early boot in this video. She will also have beef with Nichelle because if you didn't see the finale in Season 2, Nichelle was kind of selfish, like bragging about her bank account for no reason. So I think these two would clash a lot with each other. So for the teams, let's just go with the same names as World Tour. So for Team Amazon, we are gonna have Julia, MK, Axel, Ciara, Nichelle, and Chase. I think Chase being with the girls will be pretty fun to see. He will probably annoy the heck out of the girls, and this can be like a dynamic the team have, so everyone is involved. The next team is Team Chris is really hot. And here I have placed Raj, Wayne, Pria, Damien, Scary Girl, and that Bob guy who will eventually switch to Team Victory since they are gonna flop. I was planning on having Millie here instead of Bob, so this team could be a team full of besties. But I saw that the duos would just be with each other isolated again, so I had to swap things out. Pria is here because she is a strong leader and can lead a team of goofballs, and she is going to have a storyline with Wayne, which might be quite interesting. Finally, we have Team Victory. I placed Bowie, Emma, Millie, Caleb, Ripper, and Z here. Kind of a random team, which Team Victory originally was. The dynamic here is that this team sucks. Bowie wants to survive, so he reunites with Emma as well as makes a quote-unquote alliance with Millie. We know that they have beef, but a glimpse in the finale showed that they seem to be okay outside the game. So now with all the teams, let's go through most of the characters to see what I want from each of them. So let's talk about Julia. No one on the show likes her except MK, so she could be an easy early boot. Julia's purpose in the last 2 seasons was to be a villain, and I think it's going to be boring if she becomes one again, because we have kind of seen all her tricks. I also don't want her to get a redemption arc where she becomes nice. Instead, I have decided that she is the first boot of the season. She and MK are super close and might be a thing if the producers let them, but if Julia goes home first, I also want MK to get booted early. Not together in a double since they are on the same team, but I can imagine MK just quitting in episode 5 because she is bored since Julia isn't there. The reason I have done this is because I want them to host the Aftermath shows together. Instead of the regular Aftermath, maybe they can do their podcast where they interview the eliminated contestants. Here they can still be their mean selves without affecting the game. Julia was also a main character, and this kind of keeps her in that main character spotlight. I can see them trying to get very nosy with people like Caleb or Raj and asking about their relationships. This can also create subplots for the eliminated contestants and let them stay relevant after their elimination. For example, in one episode, they reveal a dark secret of Bowie to Raj, which makes him sad, and then we have to wait for the next Aftermath show where Bowie is eliminated so he can talk about the situation and make up with Raj again. Next, I want to talk about Axel and Ripper. Right now, they are a couple who kiss a lot. I am mean, and I don't want to see Ripper happy. Just kidding, but for real, let's end this couple. I really liked the build-up for this couple. I thought it was very cute, but it kind of went from 0 to 100 in one go. From episode 5 and forward, they were just annoying because all they did was kiss each other. I truly believe they made this to give Ripper a redemption arc, which worked since he was a better person in season 2 than in season 1. Believe it or not, Ripper was actually pretty strategic and a good competitor in season 1. We could work on that. But instead of working on Ripper, I think we all can agree that Axel needs more development. So what I have decided to do is to eliminate Ripper super early so Axel can develop alone. Ripper would also be a good guest to have on the Aftermath show to set a good impression on what it can offer. He would also be excellent on the Peanut Gallery. For Axel, if you saw my last video, I kind of wanted to make her a little bit smarter so she could surprise and perform well on the mental challenges. I really think this could make her stand out from the pretty low IQ cast. For example, make her good at memory or detail-oriented challenges, which is important when it comes to survival. This also makes her a good person to keep on the team, as well as teaming up with in the merge. I think this would be better than just making her a physical powerhouse like Nichelle. With this new idea, I can see Axel making it very far. Next, we have Z. I personally like Z, and so do many of you who wants him in the final 3 or something. I don't really think he would be a good contender for the final 3. Yes, it would be unexpected, but also weird. Mainly because Z is probably the contestant who is least involved in the game. He is mainly there for comic relief, and I don't know how long that can carry him, especially in a 26-episode season. I saw a comment that said Z could hit his head on a stone and suddenly become smart. I really liked that idea, but for me, that felt like a one-episode thing rather than a full season thing. Instead, I think Z would fit very well in the Peanut Gallery of the Aftermath show. There he can still be funny without interrupting the game, and I think he and Ripper could do very well as the guests of the first Aftermath show. He is also very positive, which kind of counters Julia and MK's negativity, so he can be there to balance things out. Now we have Scary Girl, and we all know my opinion on her. She is a very gimmicky character, so you can basically do whatever you want with her without it seeming weird. I tried to come up with a gimmick that would make her more relevant and interact with more people. We learned that in her quick monologue on how to be normal, she kind of mentioned that she stalked and learned everyone's behavior. So let's take that a step further, and instead of just observing, let's copy. I think a fun gimmick for Scary Girl could be that she dresses up as the eliminated contestants. For example, if Julia gets eliminated first, the next episode will have Scary Girl dressed up as Julia and behaving like her in a Scary Girl style. This would be fun and have a reason for her to last a little bit longer so she can dress up as a few contestants, especially when she is supposed to be the other half of a duo. I just feel like this is a very Scary Girl thing and would fit her very well. A fun idea I had in my head is that she gets eliminated before the second Aftermath show. So when MK and Julia are going to interview her, all Scary Girl does is observe Julia very weirdly and creepy. In the next episode's Aftermath show, Julia goes missing, so Scary Girl dresses up as her to replace her, so we will get a full Aftermath episode with MK and Scary Girl as Julia. What happened to Julia, you may ask? Well, Scary Girl did what Blanley tried to do with Bridget, but instead of Siberia, she returned to the game. Julia actually doesn't want to compete because she actually likes to host the Aftermath shows and wants to quit, but accidentally wins immunity. So she stays for like 2 episodes, similar to Blanley. Next up is Bowie and Raj, the perfect couple. No, literally, they are in such a good spot. They barely have drama and argue and get along so well. You can say they are too perfect, so let's be mean and mess them up. No, but I just want some conflict between them to add some drama, and of course, it's gonna get resolved in the end, and they get stronger than ever before. We kind of had a situation in season 2 where Julia told Raj about Bowie cheating. That could be the start of something, but it only lasted like 30 seconds because Raj was just so forgiving, and I have no idea what drama you can do for them, especially since I have put them on different teams. Maybe it can be like a Gwen and Trent situation where Bowie tells the other team to vote Raj out so he can focus on the game. Raj doesn't know this at first and gets heartbroken, and Julia and MK make it worse when they interview him. But then, when Bowie makes an appearance in the next Aftermath show, he explains everything and they make up again. It can just be that simple. For Bowie, I want him to stay much longer. He is still gonna have his trio of him, Emma, and Millie. And his rivalry this season will be the Bob guy, just to see who can outsmart the other one, especially when Bob swaps to their team. And of course, Bowie will win that duel. I think having Bob there is great, so Bowie can get back to his old strategic self. Now we have Pria and Wayne, which seems kind of weird as they haven't really interacted that much, despite Wayne and Pria making it to the 12th episode together in season 2. They barely interacted because they were with their duo partner, and these two duos barely cross paths with each other. The only glimpse of interaction we have seen from them was in episode 9, which I found fun and wished we had more of. So what do I want from these two? Well, despite making it to the end in both seasons, Priya's ride hasn't been all that fun, instead quite dramatic with the whole Millie thing and the dragged-out Caleb storyline. So I thought this season Pria is gonna focus more on having fun and stop taking Total Drama so seriously. There is more to life than just Total Drama. I'm saying this to Pria as well, to the viewers. Here is where Wayne steps in. He already won, and I don't think he cares about winning again, so I think he can be the perfect person to loosen her up a bit. I can imagine, for example, Caleb still trying to be the perfect boyfriend, but still makes questionable choices, which annoys Pria. So Wayne comes up with the idea to sabotage or quote-unquote bully Caleb by teaming up with Pria against him. For example, if this was the Pirate Challenge, I can see these two only aiming at Caleb, which may cause his elimination. I really like this idea because Raj has somebody that isn't Wayne, which is Bowie, so it's time for Wayne to get his buddy. For those who are worried, no, I do not ship them, but I see them as best buddies in this scenario. It can also work like the opposite. For example, Wayne teaches Pria to have fun, and Pria teaches Wayne to be good at Total Drama, and this could lead to funny challenge possibilities as they are on the same team. And yes, this also means Pria and Wayne will make it far again in my season, which a lot of you don't want, especially Pria. Hashtag stop the Pria hates. Next, we have Millie, someone I consider iconic and funny, but you guys hate her so much, so can we get another hashtag stop the Millie hate? So for me, Millie is actually pretty strategic. She managed to use the floater strategy in season 1, and because she knew she was weaker, she knew people wouldn't target her despite teaming up with the strongest player. In season 2, it kind of went downhill a little bit with the Damien thing, but one thing it really showed is that she is able to find ways of winning without putting herself in danger, and I think that is something Bowie also likes to do, so I can see him teaming up with her and use her as a scapegoat. Another thing I want for Millie, which I think would be fun, is that she will become an accidental competition beast. I can see her winning random challenges in the merge, one which would be fun because it's Millie. 2 is that if the immunity winner goes to someone random that isn't that big of a threat, it will lead to more strategy as all strong players are up for elimination and have to find ways to survive. We haven't really seen a lot of discussion about the votes in the reboot, except for the discussion on eliminating Raj in season 2. That's the kind of strategy I like when they talk about the votes, so I think letting Millie win the merge challenges is a good idea. Now we have Nichelle LaDonna, and I don't know, guys. I have no idea what the writers want from her. And every time I make good theories about her, she ends up flopping, so I gotta be careful with what I'm saying. So for Nichelle, I do want her to be the real Nichelle. In season 1 and at the beginning of season 2, kinda nice and a strong team player. But then during her elimination episode and in the finale, she went back to the, I guess you can say, the real Nichelle. She was kinda selfish and only cared about her career and money, and I wanna carry on with that. So, for season 3, I do want her to be this kinda selfish, famous person and clash a lot with the new character, Ciara. I think they should have a lot in common when it comes to personality, but what clashes is that Ciara is kind of the mean one. Meanwhile, Nichelle is the good version of the spoiled, bratty celebrity slash influencer. I also do want to see a more strategic version of Nichelle. She is one of the few contestants that hasn't really shown some strategic moves, so we don't really know where she stands, except that she is okay with quitting the game for Hollywood. I can, for example, see her plot Ciara's elimination, but it backfires or something, because she has the idol which leads to her own elimination. At first, I wanted Nichelle to make it to the top 3, but with the addition of Ciara, she kinda took that spot from Nichelle. So now I'm okay with Nichelle being an early merge boot to build Ciara as a character. Nichelle would also lead the anti-Ciara campaign, and that would be fun because she did something similar to Julia, but in a smaller version. This time I want her to take out that megaphone and shout "F Ciara" in the middle of the finale. Next, we have Emma. I don't have much to say about her, except that I want her to shine without Chase. So that's why I put her in Team Victory, and they are kind of a flop team, which gives Emma a chance to stand out as she is a strong competitor. Because Team Victory is losing, I can see her reuniting with Bowie to survive as long as possible, so maybe she, Bowie, and Millie can become some kind of alliance. For me, I do want to see her go pretty far. I can imagine as far as the top 4 or even 3, but I would not be mad if she went somewhere in the middle, because it's understandable that the writers don't know what to do with Emma without Chase, because without him, she really just falls into the background. So with this little trio, maybe all of them can get some focus without their duo partner, so no Chase, Raj, and Pria are allowed in this alliance. Same with Emma. I have no idea what to say with Damien. But I want him to win, especially after this elimination. It feels like winning would be a good redemption. With the storyline and the dynamics I have built up, I have no idea how he is gonna win since I haven't really planned anything on him. I did want him and Scary Girl to have some interactions, but she goes kinda early, so I have no idea what he is gonna do until the finale. Maybe he can just coast his way to the finale and surprise win like Wayne did. And here's an elimination table I did as I was writing the script. Some things might not line up with what I have talked about because I just did this one real quick, so it's not that serious. If you want a short recap, here it is. A 26-episode season that is World Tour themed. It is going to have 2 newly added characters, Kiara and Bob, which are not their official names, and 3 teams. So for our previous duos, Julia and MK go early to host the Aftermath show, and Ripper leaves early so Axel can get some development. Then I want a small conflict between Raj and Bowie, just to create some drama that will of course resolve later. For my new dynamics, I want Wayne and Pria to become some sort of best friends where the focus is on Wayne trying to get Pria to have fun. Then I want a small trio of Bowie, Emma, and Millie and see them work together. Nichelle and the new girl Ciara are gonna have some rivalry. Scary Girl's new gimmick is to dress up as the eliminated contestants. Finally, Millie is gonna make it far and kinda become an accidental challenge beast. Meanwhile, Damien somehow wins the season. So those were my suggestions for season 3. What did you think of them? Comment down below because I want to see what you guys think of my weird ideas. I know some of them are a little weird and controversial, but that's what the comments are for, so we can discuss. Also, comment your own ideas after watching this video. Was I able to change your mind, or do you have better ideas? Let me know. So that is it for this video. I have no idea how long this video is, but if you made it this far, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel because I am going to continue on my old project Expedition Castaway again, and you do not want to miss that. So thanks for watching, and bye.